What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today, and welcome back to the Aussie Sim Racing series. This is the F3 Xbox One League. We are here for round number 9 of this series here at the Austrian Grand Prix. And after the chaotic event that was Azerbaijan, which, by the way, if you have not seen, I probably wouldn't recommend you seeing it, but well, I wouldn't even see it myself. But if you want to see what happened there, you can go check that out. But here's the driver standings if you haven't seen it already. We're currently in P2 behind my teammate Sanguinius Prime. Ferrari's still kicking it in the Constructors' Championship. But let's go through the incidents from the Azerbaijan round weekend and start off with a few from qualifying incidents. Now, Lego Rob, he had a crash during qualifying, which we all thought was which we found out was actually a bit of a controller accidentally turned off, but he copped 8 penalty points in qualifying, which means he cops a ban for qualifying this weekend for deliberately destroying their car to gain an advantage. Probably a little bit harsh, but it is the way we have to deal with it. So yeah, he's just got to suck it up anyway. But anyway, there was also the incident with Captain Farah's. We just watched the qualifying highlights from Austria. There's Captain Farah and myself with me weaving on the front straight the last lap. No further action. I mean, yeah, it probably is a bit of a word of warning for me, but yeah, I was thankful there wasn't any penalties. But there was also the Captain Farah and Spag Bowl. There was a couple of incidents involved. The first one was probably around turn 2, where Spag Bowl copped 1 penalty point for ignoring blue flags. The second incident around turn 15, he copped another 2 penalty points for causing an avoidable collision. So I think that rounds up to nearly 8 overall this season. So he's also another who cops a qualifying ban for this weekend. And the other one was, this is actually another one involving Captain Farah and the Joker. I didn't even realise this until I watched the highlights, but apparently it was during qualifying for the Joker copped 2 penalty points for causing an avoidable collision by remaining on the racing line. And I didn't even realise it at the time who it was, but in the end, the Joker, I don't think, qualified during Azerbaijan. But yeah, as you see here, we're going through the qualifying highlights. We set a banker of a 1 minute 7.3. I think Lockie's leading the way at the moment. But coming into the weekend, I felt pretty confident after, like I said, I'm going to complain about the Azerbaijan weekend for a little bit. Let's be honest, but because it was a horrible weekend. But I felt a little bit more comfortable this weekend. But there is that possibility. We've come so close to getting that race win, because I really want this race win. It has nearly been. This is 8 rounds complete. The race win feels close. I know it is, but yeah, we're just about setting off now for our second. Well, it was actually our 3rd flying lap, but the second flying lap wasn't actually real great. But I'm actually going to pipe down a little bit and just let you enjoy a lap of Austria. So now we set provisional pole position with a 1 minute 6.6, and we actually have a bit of a lag moment here, which is a little bit awkward. I thought I was going to ram up the backside of schulty to Ozzy. In the end, I was tempted to maybe do another lap, but in the end, I decided to abort it and come back into the lane because we're going to start on these tyres anyway. So, yeah, I wasn't really fast in the end. But the car felt pretty good, I must say. I think I got the setup right in the window. But, yeah, that was... what more can I say, really? I think that was nearly the end of qualifying. But a few guys starting from the back, as we see on board here with schulty. Aussie! Just ramming up the backside. I think that might have been one of the Mercedes. I'm not sure exactly which one. Might have been Captain Farah. But we were fastest through all three sectors. And in the end, we get our third pole position of the season. So, yeah, pretty proud as punch, let's just say. But you see there, schulty to Aussie actually finished in 10th, but he's starting on the super soft tyres. And Sanguinius Prime, a teammate, in position 3. I think Hyperduce actually had a qualifying ban as well. So we're accumulating a few more penalty points as well. But coming to the race, it's a bit overcast, but there was no forecast of rain. But as you see there, we're just having a look at the strategies there. I mean, there's not much difference between the two of them. I mean, yes, one is definitely 9 seconds quicker. I think it's about 9 seconds quicker, but well, whatever it is. Anyway, in the end, I decided to stick with the two-stop strategy, the ultra soft, and the super soft. I wasn't keen on going the one-stop. I mean, some guys may consider it, but I just wasn't keen on the soft tyres at all. But must also point out that the formation lap since Azerbaijan has now been turned off, and also the corner cutting rule has been switched back to regular from that was from Canada onwards. So I don't know if I mentioned it from either Canada or Azerbaijan, but anyway, we're all set now for the Austrian Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights. Let's do it around Austria, and it's actually a pretty good getaway from me. Lockie's had a shocking start actually from position 2, coming into turn 1. We get away with it. And thankfully, with those yellow flags in the background, there's a bit of carnage going on back there. And it's actually a Ferrari 1-2 out of all that, which was completely amazing. I'd never expected it coming into turn 2. Thankfully, I think everyone got away with it, except for Lego Rob. I believe he was having a few connection issues during this, or during the starting part. I'm not really sure, but his race has got off to a great start. But yeah, we finally complete lap 1. We kept it pretty clean compared to a few others at the back, but now it's just a case of trying to get my teammate in Sanguinius Prime, who was actually pretty close at the time. Let's have a look on board at the starts. This is on board with my teammate. You see there, I'm not sure exactly what happened with Lockie. Just didn't quite get away well. Whether he missed the sequence of lights or not, I'm not sure, but there's a bash up the inside. Oh my goodness me, look at all that carnage. I think there might have been Roxman and Mercedes. It would have been a bit awkward if Roxman and Sanguinius Prime had tangled again. A la, I think, was back to Spain the last time those two tangled. But yeah, pretty lucky that it was a Ferrari 1-2. We survived all the carnage. But he's on board with Stinchy in the Force India. You see that Lockie just doesn't go anywhere. I don't know exactly what the hell happened, but into turn 1. Ah, okay. That thing might have been the Joker that might have taken out Captain Farah, but yeah, I think Stinchy caught up a little bit there, and he might have had a collision there with Spagbol. He's on board with Frizy, his teammate. So there's next to Joker. There's Captain Farah on the right, but I think that might have been. Oh, look at all this. I do apologise for that Move AV part of it logo on the front. This is all I could find on the. Well, this is Frizy's video. He made this video, and I don't think he's quite got the hang of getting rid of that logo, because that was. If you see his footage, you'll see probably majority of that throughout this race. But he's on board with Lego Rob, and I said earlier that he was having a few connection issues, and this is how his start panned out. Looks all pretty normal. Well, it stops at 3 red lights actually probably because of the frame rate maybe, but actually copped a drive-through penalty, and everybody else has already gone into turn 1, and all the carnage happened up front. But he's on board with Spagbol, who started from the rear, and again, Hyperduce has had a shocker. In fact, both McLarens have had a shocking start as well, so not great for them. As you can see there, I think that might have been definitely the Joker. You see there, Captain Farah, I think Roxman, and that was definitely Stinchy. coming around. I'm not sure that was intentional or not, but I don't think it was. He's on board with Captain Farah. So you see there, he gets a great jump compared to Joker. Definitely a great jump over Lockie, but you see here a couple of whack up the rear, and there he goes. Right on cue. So he's now at the back of the pack now with a bit of a damaged front wing. Actually, both Mercedes are at the back of the pack. So have a look at all this. Going up into turn 2. You see there's the Joker going well and truly wide, using every single bit of road there. And you see there, Lego Rob just, I think, disconnected as he just runs a little bit wide. I don't think that was intentional, but you never know. As Hyperdeuce just takes that spot, and he actually had to come back into the lane to change. I think he might change his front wing. No, did not actually. So done a little bit of a moment there, but yeah, he did change it in the end. But he's onto the soft tyres now, so definitely going for a longer run. He's on board with Joker, so this will definitely give us the view we all want to see. So he's not had the great start. There goes Captain Farah. Lockie around the outside, trying to go up the inside, but he's gone way too deep, and
okay, this is Jeff. Can you hear me?
Absolutely caused all that carnage there, but even gotten the legal overtake for Roxman, which he had to wait in what's the word I'm looking for? Wait an eternity just to see if he can let Roxman go by, but in the end he copped a 5-second stop-go penalty for corner cutting. As you see there, he was just running wide. I think he was still hoping to let Roxman through, but
strategy change available to us. Would you like to keep to the current plan or try the new one?
As you can hear Jeff there just wanting to change up the strategy. I think he does in the end. We see there at the inside. Actually, no, the Joker runs wide, so Captain Farah had nothing to do with that. They just both ran off at their own accord, but he had to come back into the lane as well, and he's copped another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So coming in well too hot there, and he's already copped the already 5-second stop-go penalty. So this is going to be a very long pit stop here, as they go to work now, the Williams boys, under the super soft tyres now and the new front wing. So he'll be at the back of the pack.
Complete, go now.
After, and it will be definitely the back of the pack after what happened with Lego Rob. But now cut back to us. We're still leading this race. As like I said earlier, this was the time to actually see if we can put a gap to our teammate there. But actually, we did make a little bit of a deal to say that we wouldn't fight for the first 5 laps. But I think this was thrown out the window after this was occurring on lap 3. So he got the fastest lap of the race, and actually going to have a look up the inside here at turn 2. Thinks about it, not quite, but just didn't quite get the run out of the turn 2 there, as we managed to hold on there, only just. But I was coming a little bit under attack there from a teammate, but now coming up into turn 3, I think this is. Yeah, we still managed to hold on, and you see there a bit of a yellow flag coming out of the so-called hairpin at turn 2, but this now was the time to really push, I think the case was. Cut now back to Frizy. This is on board with his view. And, again, I apologise for the Move AB logo. I hope that's how you pronounce it anyway, but he actually lets Lockie go by here, because I think he felt that he was the quicker driver. There's a little bit of debris flying around there. Not sure exactly what the hell happened there, but yeah, he's let him through there for P3. We are back, going back in the pack with a Stinchy 9 putting pressure on Hyperdeuce here in the McLaren. He's underfilled the car here, so going around the outside, he might look for the switchback. Actually gets a great switchback, and Hyperdeuce actually, I think, got on the rears too much, and has actually damaged his front wing even more, has Stinchy. But yeah, it's now cut back to us as we nearly lose the rear end there. I tell you what, that was a big heart and mouth moment. I could have easily binned the car right there and then, but now cut back to these two, who Lockie, as Lockie runs very wide and is actually riding all over the curbs. Frizy goes round the outside down at turn 5, and actually gets the move done as well. So he's back up onto the podium, and he's on board now with Joker. That was Roxman I think he's had a bit of a moment at turn 4. But now we cut back to us. We're on lap 5. We slided out of turn 2, but it was definitely not ideal, as we now are starting to catch up to Lego Rob's disconnected car as we now go straight through it as we speak, and he's now a lap down, even though I don't think he's driving it. But you can actually see now as we're coming around the final corner now, we actually started to gap my teammate a little bit more, and so someone's in the lane right now, but we actually nail a perfect the best lap time, but all of a sudden the gap started to just get bigger and bigger, and he's on board with my teammates coming around the final corner. Runs a little bit wide. He's gone on the curb, and he's damaged his front wing. So that was definitely not ideal, and I think that he might have to come into the lane. Yes, he is in the lane actually, so I think the Ferrari 1-2 is might be out of the question now. So here he is coming now into the lane, using every single bit of road here. It's a slow down. Yes, he does. Nicely done. And then he'll go onto the soft tyres. But the weird thing was they didn't actually change his front wing. So this is going to cost him dearly now. He's way back in P6, but had he changed the front wing, he probably would have stayed in P6. But you see that the wing is still damaged. So yeah, this is definitely a headache for him now, because he's actually going to change it onto the yes part of it for the change the front wing part, as it's a little bit wide. Oh, up the inside. Schulty to Aussie in the Red Bull. They've come together, those two. Bit of wheel banging, and it's P6 for Schulty to Aussie, as now he's come back in the next lap, and I think now he's going to change the front wing. And probably onto a set of quicker tyres. Yes, and the ultra soft tyres as we speak. So there goes the front wing change. So this is costly for my teammate. I think now that the 1-2 is definitely out of the question. But all we can do is just focus on our race. So it's myself leading the way from Frizy. We're starting to build a big gap now on lap 9. I don't think we're actually too far away from pitting, as I think this is not going to be the full lap. But he's on board with Captain Farah. He's gone a little bit away. He's got on the power too much, and wants to join those folks down there at turn 2. He's actually reversing all the way back onto the runoff area, but comes straight back, I think maybe just in front of Sanguinius Prime. So that was definitely a little bit awkward. He's on board with Joker. You see there goes Captain Farah reversing, and that's a PA for Joker. He's on board with my teammate. Runs over the curb a little bit. Oh, that looked a little bit close for comfort there. But in the end, my teammate gets position 9. So he's going to start making a comeback, I think, as Captain Farah runs very wide here at turn 4. Got a little bit of gravel on the dirt now on his tyres. So gravel on the dirt, gravel on the tyres. But might come under attack here. He's actually come back into the lane. Yeah, excuse me, my voice is going. But yes, he's changing onto the super soft tyres, and a new front wing is required. I think he definitely damaged it after turn 2. But yeah, his race is compromised. His second place now has come into the lane on lap 9. About to start lap 10 actually, but I think he's going to change. He's going on a different strategy here. Yeah, super soft tyres. So that's a different strategy to what I said I was going to do with the ultra soft. But you see now lap 10, lock up the brakes now. It's just a case of short shifting out of the turn 2 so I wouldn't make any mistakes. But I thought now was the perfect time to come in and change on the ultra soft tyres, which you guys and girls will not know. We did a few of us did a practice race, I think maybe the day before this happened, and I actually copped a puncture, a very weird puncture. My tyre just exploded up on the way up to turn 2. It was very awkward, but here we are. We're into the lane now. And we're doing the opposite one. We're onto the ultra soft tyres, and easy as a light. Nice pit stop on the Ferraris. It's a tight pit lane, so you have to be very careful you don't go very quick into the corner. But we come out still in the lead. I think we've may have lapped Roxman, I think. But here's my teammate, St. Williams Prime, as we were in the pit lane. And his comeback starting to make ground a little bit more as he goes up the inside of Joker and gets P8. Nice work from a teammate. So the comeback is on. Hopefully the Ferrari 1-2 is still on. As I think we're going to now go on a bit of a hot lap around here. I'm going to take you around a hot lap. Nothing compared to my qualifying lap. But coming into turn 1, going to hit that curb, run over this, right out to the curb there, and just this long straight up into turn 2. As you can see all the forestry up in the distance. Coming into turn 2, will not lock the brakes, getting in tight. You can run, you can accelerate like it, all the way up into the next gear, but I find it better to short shift early so you don't get a lot of wheel spin, if that makes sense. But coming into turn 3, it's a little bit tricky, that corner. You don't know whether to take third or fourth. I usually take third, but now coming around turn 4, got to get it nice and tight, run over this curb, run it too wide, and you get over that bumpy curb as you see there. We drop back down to 5th gear, coming around turn 5 and 6. You can use 6th gear. You probably will see that maybe a bit later in the race, but coming around this fast turn 7 and then turn 8, got to get it in nice and tight, and coming along the front straight. And we actually set the new fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 8.8. I think we're the first ones into the 1 minute 8. So the pace was there definitely. As now we cut back. Hold ball with Frizy as Lockie goes up the inside of Schulty to Aussie, and actually he's run wide at turn 1. And Schulte's taken that spot back, as well as Frizy's taken an easy spot there. But let's see if what Frizy can do up into turn 2. Go for a move, using every last bit of brake. Doesn't quite have enough, but might come under attack here from Lockie. He's still on the left-hand side. Just manages to hold on just, but again he's going the short distance around this corner, and I think Lockie might have it now. Yes, he does. Actually, he lets him go by. So as Lockie runs very wide again at turn 4, but now cut back now to my teammate, putting a lot of pressure on Kairos and the McLaren. I said the comeback was coming, so up the inside here at turn 7. Nice move, and up into P7. He's got a long way to go here, but now he's on board with Schulty to Aussie. Sit there going very deep there. Lockie tries to go around the outside, didn't really work, but actually runs very wide, and it's an easy spot for Lockie. Oh, well, thought it was, but apparently he's lagged back. But you see there, Frizy's actually right behind him now, but was all a very bit weird there, but he's on board with Frizy of what you can see. But see there, Schulze runs a little bit wide. A bit of contact between those two, but all of a sudden this Lockie ends up right behind Frizy again. But actually Frizy was going right around the outside. Is he quite up the drive? No, probably just got a little bit over the curve too much there, and just didn't quite have enough in the end. But still P4 as we now cut back to our POV. I think this is Captain Farah. Yes, it is. He actually has a big moment coming out of turn 7, and off he goes. So that was very lucky. I think he may have just avoided the wall, but don't quote me on that as we go. Oh, that was a bit close there between Frizy and Schulty to Aussie. Actually, Schulte's now come into the lane. I think he's been on a long time on those super soft tyres, but now come back to the Joker, and Kai was just bouncing around everywhere. Hasn't actually got the greatest of runs, but Joker actually has the best run here into turn 1. Should get up the inside, and yes, nice easy move there. But Kai has actually come back and actually taken that spot back. But for how long, you may ask? I'm not exactly too sure. He actually goes back up the inside here at turn 2. Goes back all the way back to first gear. Tries to get the drive. And again, Kairos has got a bit more drive, I think. And Coming around the outside. Does he quite have enough coming into turn 3? Not quite. Actually, he runs a little bit wide, does the Joker, but in the end, that is position 6 for a Joker. But this was all going on in front of me, as you can see there. The tyre wear wasn't actually too bad. I mean, yes, I've only been on it for probably about, what is it now, 6 laps, so it didn't feel too bad, but you'll probably see only a little bit of highlights from now on, because the rest of our race was just pretty boring, as we now put Lego Rob as 2 laps down now in his AI-driven car. But yeah, we've got a very big gap now. As you can see there, lap 18, nearly 31 seconds clear of Frizy. I think he's only just around the 2nd sector. I'm coming around there. He's on board with Frizy, actually. So begin lap 18. He's actually let Roxman go by. That's all a bit weird. I thought Roxman was a lap car. As you can see there, actually, Captain Farrow's actually retired from the race. We can have a look on board to see what happened here. Just coming around turn 5. See what he does. Just loses the rear end, and I don't think he's going to control it. Nope. He's now out of the race. So his dire race is just gone down the toilet. As you see there, actually, Roxman has nearly done the exact same thing as his teammate. May have just got away with it as well, but you can see that gap is just building and building. Nearly 33.5 seconds on Frizy there, and Hyperdeuce is in position 3. I think he's going for possibly the 1 stop here as the Joker comes back into the lane, and again he's copped another 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's actually got to serve this penalty for the last pit lane infringement, so it's definitely not going to be ideal.
Go, go, go.
So he puts on another set of super softs, so definitely not deciding to use the ultra softs in the end. As we come around turn 1, I think we put him a lap down. There's a bit of a lag moment as well. There we go. And a big lag moment actually, and all of a sudden he just pops out in front of us. So in the end I thought, oh well, may as well have to go and pass him, but we should have plenty of drive coming around here, but a bit of a DRS as well. Not quite got enough there in the end, but he's on board with, yeah, he'll flick between the two as we go up the inside. Nice and easy move, but she sticks it around the outside as well. Actually pulls out of it, and oh, that was nearly close to ramming me up the backside. I don't think the stewards would have tolerated it if he had whacked me up the backside, but in the end I decided to box this lap anyway, because I mean, yes, we've got a big enough gap anyway. It's really tighter around here coming into the pit lane. Use every bit of road you can. Got to get it nice and easy into the pit lane, and we are chucking on another set of not another set, a brand new set of super soft tyres. So this will take us to the end of the race, and we've got quite a comfortable lead. I think Frizy's still coming around to sector 2, around turn 6 probably. That's probably the dot you can see there on his own, just around nearly the 3 sector. Like I said, it's a tight exit out of the pit lane, but yeah, we're nice and comfortably still ahead. Just trying to get the tyres warmed up as quickly as possible, but I think actually someone's actually in the lane now. I'm not exactly sure who, but got nearly the gap's sort of halved a little bit, back to 16.6 seconds actually, but more of a case of consolidating, as now Frizy's actually come into the lane again, so this will probably be his last stop. I said he was going on the alternate strategy, so he's putting on the ultra softs on last, so it might be quick in this last part of the race, but he's going to have to battle Lockie for position 2, I think, as he is at the inside here of a schulty to Aussie as he come out of the pit lane, and I think he might just have enough. Yes, the arrow just went white, so he's going on the the tighter line, but yeah, he's got the position anyway. So position 3 for Frizy, but now cut back to us. You see there that gap is a 30.1 seconds. It was just a case of just bringing the car home, not doing anything stupid. You probably tell there I used 6th gear around turn 5, but I thank Captain Farah for, this is the view from his spectator mode. So this is us leading the race, obviously, as we come around turn 1. But you see there, Lockie's coming around turn 6, I think. In position 2, Frizy is in 3rd, schulty in 4th. There's my teammate at P5, so he's making a good comeback here. Spagbol, they're in position 6, I think that is. So you see here, Spagbol's run very wide and actually made a very late call coming into the lane. So I think he may be putting on a new set of boots on lap 25. I think this is lap 25, 26, I think. So it's interesting to see what he puts on here. Yeah, ultra soft tyres. And changing the front wing as well. I didn't realise that the front wing was damaged, but you never know in this game. It might be only just a little bit. But and he goes and he's away. And we actually, would you believe it, he come out just in front. Just comes out in front, but in the end, I put him a lap down anyway. But you may have noticed, probably on my YouTube channel, that I put up a video of what happened for a few laps during this race. So we now put Lego Rob 3 laps down. You'll be able to see nearly the full highlights of what happened with myself and Spagbol. But as we cut now to schulty to Aussie, and very big lock up into the lane. But he's putting on another set of tyres. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to... Yeah, another set of ultra soft tyres. So, well, yeah, it would be, considering he started on the super soft. So he's definitely going a bit longer. He's on board with my teammate. I did say he was pushing a fair bit, and now he's bunny hopping everywhere. And he's got a little bit of a lag moment there, but he's still in position 4. But now cut back to us. The tyre wear wasn't really too bad, but fastest lap of the race was now gone, as now Stingy just pips us by about a 10th, really. So wasn't really too bad, but now cut back to lap 28. You can see there's Spagbol still hanging on behind me. I mean, yes, it's probably ideal for him to stay behind me, but after the last few races of footage I've seen of him, and I was actually hoping he stayed behind me, but he was actually keen for a little bit of a battle here. Yeah, and I was getting pretty annoyed at this stage, considering I had a 31-second lead, as you can tell there. But this was definitely not ideal for me. See, they actually got a good run here coming into turn 7. Now cut back on to Joker. It's a bit of a yellow flag, and yeah, that's Roxman again. So got caught up in the gravel trap there out of turn 6. It's now cut back onto lap 30. You still there, see that Spagbol with the arrow he's still there. Now at this point I was just maybe a bit annoyed that he was still up on rear end, considering he is a lap car. I thought he may have backed off a little bit, but no, he's still keen for a little bit of a battle. He started to gain a little bit away from him, but and if he ever came close to me, it was a bit tight. But yeah, back onto the Joker, who's running a bit wide out of turn 2. Using every single bit of road there. He still doesn't manage to hold on to position, but like I said, in the end it was just getting a bit annoying, so I decided to let him go, considering I didn't want damage to my car. And yeah, he's now back on the lead lap. Yeah, I wasn't really keen on fighting at this stage. I just wanted to consolidate my lead. Like I said, it's nearly 30.8 seconds, so I wasn't really too fussed if I let him go. I just didn't want any damage later on in the race. You see there, we short shifted a bit early there to avoid the wheel spin, but he's on board with schulty to Aussie, and a bit of a lagging Joker there, so that was a bit awkward, as he's on board with Spagbol. It's going to happen here, coming in around in turn 3. Probably going to see... well, that incident happened earlier on, but coming around turn 4. you see, oh, hello, here comes schulty to Aussie out of nowhere. So he's back in P9 now. So you can see up in front there, that was the case. You're now on lap 32. And they start nearly lap 33, and these two are going to battle it out for their last place for the for point. Well, it's actually 9th and 10th, so it doesn't really matter. One gets more points than the other in the end, but schulty ran a little bit wide coming around turn 7, but yeah, I think he's now going to come back here on Spagbell coming up into turn 2. A lot of weaving going on there. Looks like he's close there. Spagbell goes to defensive line. schulty's going to go around the outside, trying to do the crisscross. A bit of contact between those two. I'm not sure whether there was any wing damage or not between those for schulty, but now coming into turn 4, he gets a big lock up there, and in the end he just lets us go, and he's now a lap car. So in the end I think I was going to catch Spagbell as well, so and now it's just a conserved race as we now come back on to lap 34, and in fact Spagbell does actually let us through now. I think he may have got the blue flag, so he's now back down a lap, and hopefully he won't be annoying in the final few stages. But now it's just like I said, consolidate this race. Only a couple of laps to go. We don't want to make any mistakes, and this is Sanguinius Prime using every single bit of road there, and goes a bit bunny hopping again coming around the final corner. He's still making a fight back, but he's on board with what happened between these two, and bit of contact between schulty and Spagbell. There might have been a lag incident as well, but coming into turn 1, this actually looked a little bit different than what it did on my view, but still more contact going on here. Yeah, oh no, this was actually right behind me, I do apologise, but now coming up into turn 2, he gets a little bit of a whack there from Spagbell. He tries to get the drive, and he just does so. Manages to squeeze him out there. Let's see what happens here coming up into turn 3. Goes for the late dive bomb. Just a little bit of contact, runs him a bit wide, and that's position 9 for schulty. And he's on board with Spagbell, so actually he copped a bit of front wing damage, so that was the bang up the rear. It's every bit of cutting the corner there to take position 9, but as you'll see up here in turn 3, there we are off in the distance. You see there a bit of a late dive bomb there from schulty. Actually runs him wide there, and that is position 9 officially. So and now I was asking my race engineer how much fuel I had on my sleeve just in case for the last bit of this race, but I think in the end we did have enough, so decided to burn off a little bit as a cut back again to my teammate. Still bouncing every which way, but he's still pushing on. I think the podium's definitely out of reach now, but position 4 really not too bad as now come to lap 35. So Joker runs a little bit wide, and he's copped a bit of flying action there, and he's had a big moment and nearly lost a spot, but now we cut now onto the final lap of the race. We actually ran a little bit wide coming into turn 1, but it was just a case of just bringing this car home. A comfortable 28.9, I think that was behind, as my voice nearly goes here, but we have plenty of rich mix up my sleeve, as I said earlier, but I think it was nearly time to celebrate. I thought about maybe catching the other guys in front of me to those other 3 dots. Well, the 4th dot's probably Lego Rob again. So, but in the end, I was just happy with the way this race was panning out. That was nearly a big moment there out of that curb, but it's nice and gently coming around turn 6 now as we're about to put Lego Rob down another lap. I think P4. I wasn't caring about what my engineer said. We ran the final couple of corners, and this is it. I said the first win wasn't too far away, and here it is, our first Aussie Sim Racing win here in Austria. Yeah, Forza Ferrari. And I just had to do this. Ring, ding, 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 ding. Probably the way that Sebastian Vettel would have liked it, but Lockie comes home position 2, and Frizy will come home in position 3, and I've since found out this is actually his first podium since Australia in 2016. So congrats to him. So there comes my teammate. He'll come home in P4. Just hold on. Hold off the Joker in position 5. So a great recovery for him. A 1 and a 4. Not really bad, but would have liked a 1-2 in the end, but it is the way of the world. So Stinchy will come home in position 6, and Kai was in P7, but there it is. We're finally on the top step of the podium. And after that horrible run in Azerbaijan, this felt really good. So there we go. We actually hammered the field, as you can see there. Lockie finished 30 seconds behind, and Frizy in 3rd there. I mean, there was probably a few guys there that could have maybe had a bit more of a crack, but that probably just me. I didn't really care. I was just happy that I got the race win. It felt so awesome. Could have nearly had the fastest lap, but Stinchy stuffed that a little bit up, but I didn't really care. I was just happy with the win. I apologise if that ring, ding, 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 ding. It didn't really help much, but that's just the way I think Sebastian Vettel would have liked it. But here's the driver standings after that race. So we're seeing Williams Prime still holds on to his championship lead, ahead of myself. We're now 7 points adrift of each other, but yeah, Lockie's moved up now as well. Spagbell's dropped back as well with just another low points finish, but we're in Constructors, we're extending our lead over Toro Rosso, who have now jumped into 2nd place, with Red Bull now dropped back to 3rd, but yeah, what can I say? What an awesome weekend. I love Austria. I'm just so happy. But this is where this video ends today, guys and girls. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. Hopefully we can have plenty of likes for this video for my first Aussie Sim Racing win. Comment down below if you have anything to say about the race. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see plenty more Aussie Sim Racing videos on F1 2017, plus plenty more other video gaming content. And also, be sure to give me a follow on my social media, any of my social media. All the links will be down in the description. But for the moment, guys and girls, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.